Is Dragon Ball Daima the best Dragon Ball show since the original? This is probably an unpopular opinion, but I feel like it might be. So I finally finished Daima the other night, and I freaking loved the show for a couple specific reasons. Oh, and since this is an action figure channel, I'm going to unbox this Daima Vegeta, my favorite character, while I talk about the show, and spoiler alert for Daima, so be warned. So the reasons I loved it, first but not the least of which being that it was Akira Toriyama's final creative project, or one of his last projects, before his passing, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm an expert, but Daima really felt like classic Toriyama to me. Maybe I'm being influenced by the benefit of hindsight, but it felt like a love letter to Dragon Ball and the fandom, and it was really fun to watch. Now it does start slow. It took me 3 or 4 episodes to really get into it, but once it gets going, it gave me something that Super didn't, which was an action adventure show. I love Super, and Z, obviously, but Daima wasn't just a series of battles strung together with loose storytelling. The characters actually had to move through the world on a quest to achieve something, and yes, there was a lot of fighting on that path, but it was an adventure, and it feels like we haven't gotten that from the anime in a long time. Like Super was mostly just tournaments strung together. In a similar way, I love that we got new characters in the series that weren't just opponents for Goku to fight, or random comedic filler characters. Pansy and Galero
It's Glorio.
were real characters that contributed to the adventure and added to the overall story, and the effects of the story were felt by the demon world in a very real way, so there were real stakes. Similarly, I love what they did with Goku in this series. In Super, at times, it felt like Goku had been flanderized a little bit, like he was a caricature of himself. But in Daima, both his desire to fight and his fighting style felt much more grounded in the story they were telling. Even when Goma revealed himself and kicked off the final act of the story, Goku didn't hesitate to have the entire group all gang up on him at once, something that Bulma even mentioned. There was a real desperation to the fight with Goma that we didn't really see much of in Super. Even though the stakes were technically higher in Super in the fight with Jiren, the writing didn't make Goku feel as desperate, in my opinion. Maybe that is recency bias, and maybe I need to rewatch the Jiren battle, but Goku felt desperate and at times worried in the fight with Goma, which I just find to be much more interesting to watch. I also thought the fight scenes in general throughout the show were really fun to watch and well animated. There were moments in the fight with Goma especially that were like eyebrow raising or something. And lastly, Daima gave me one of my favorite, but also probably one of the stupidest, but also most funny moments in Dragon Ball history, at least to me.
I swear I'm never taking another bath with you for as long as I live!
So is Daima the best Dragon Ball show since the original? I mean, it's always going to be hard, maybe impossible even, to top my nostalgia for the early Z sagas that I grew up with. I mean, seeing Goku go Super Saiyan against Frieza is permanently etched in my brain as a core memory, but I really, really loved Daima. So if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it. Also, I love these SHF Daima figures. Vegeta, Goku, and Piccolo are all awesome, and they seem to kickstart a new era of SHF Dragon Ball figures, so that's great as well. But what do you guys think about Daima, either the show or the figures? Let me know.